Hey everyone, it's me, Baby Girl, and I'm back to give you a reading. Let's get started. So, for this channeled message, I'm first getting chest pains, and this could be difficulty digesting something that's going on in your life, digesting the truth or situation, but also it can be having difficulty breathing, feeling stuck or claustrophobic in a situation. If this situation relates to you or that message, then this reading can definitely be for you, you know? Let's get to the pulling cards. Dear Spirit, please help me channel an accurate message for the collective in regards to whatever I'm picking up. Okay, so we have the Seven of Swords here, followed by the Four of Swords. Okay, there's a lot of mental activity going on right now, a lot of back and forth. I think what you're being called to do or what you're doing is resting. You're trying to meditate, you're trying to relax. I think you're waiting for a sign from the divine. There seems to be an event that took you a little bit by storm, and you're kind of hoping and wishing and praying for divine intervention. I don't really see that you're making any moves, because the moves that you seem to be making or have made in the past have not really worked, or you're just kind of scared to do anything else. It seems like you're just kind of stuck and there isn't any right situation. For instance, let's say you are looking for work, but every job out there just sucks, right? So it's like, this isn't even a viable option because it's going to lead me back to square one. This is useless. And that is something that I totally see here. There is this battle between disappointment and hope, and I see that you're in the middle of trying to gain that hope. Okay, moving on. This is stress over stability or a lack of stability. It's kind of looking around and feeling like things haven't been paying off, things aren't paying off, and everything is just sucks. This is someone who feels like they probably made a bad decision or always do bad decisions. Like anything that you have invested in the past has not really paid forward. You're almost questioning, like, was I even thinking? What was I thinking? Why did I do that? I thought I was following my higher self or my guidance, and it has led me into a crumbly, effed up mess. And I see that being the source of so much anxiety, because again, this is affecting your stability, but also your faith. In that, all like, but it goes in both ways, because you're also looking for a sign or a way out through your faith as well. So it's like, it's a bit of a confusing time. I kind of wanted to burp, but I didn't. And I think this is also goes back to chest pains, because I know that burping spiritually is a sign of anger and the need to release anger. So you can have a lot of things that have been pent up. This situation might even be triggering things that haven't gone well in your life in general. So it's almost as if you're spiraling, or someone around you is spiraling, if this message does not relate to you. Now, I see that you are conscious of the fact that you know you can create your future. You know that it is really up to you and no one else to make things happen, no one else to secure security, make whatever to complete this. You know, it's like the only way over it is through it kind of situation. The only person who can do this is you. And I think you're self-aware, but you're also kind of waiting for a moment of enlightenment, because it's going back to these choices. There doesn't seem like there's any real possible choice or course of action for you. This situation that you have been going through has been leading to a lot of disappointments, to a point where you're not really understanding who you are. You're doubting yourself. It's very intense. This isn't like a normal kind of quote unquote ruts, I want to say. This is like a true, like, what the F is my life? What has been my life? Why is everything happening? Why is everything crumbling? Why am I in a perpetual state of darkness? It's a true, like, I'm talking about analyzing almost even slight nuances that might not even be there, but because you're in this mood, you're reading in too much, kind of drawing out all of these insecurities and going through them with a very fine-tooth comb and just dealing with that. And kind of, I see someone accepting that they don't know anything, but also like, fuck, I don't know anything. All right. I'll try not to curse, but it slipped out. With that being said, the spirits, higher self, all that good-ish is like, they want you to stay focused on the ultimate goal. Like, what have you been trying to achieve this whole time and failing at? And understand that there is going to be failure before success, and this is just a really big L. And it is okay to be down bad is what I'm hearing. Because there's no because. They just really want you to stay focused on what you're creating, what you have been wanting, and understand that even if you take small steps towards your mental health, really is important here, because I think that is extreme, like, it's suffering. To even try to be better, to take whatever little control you do have within what you have. Am I making sense? Do what you're feeling guided to do. Because you never know what's going to happen. It seems like there is a hope that there's going to be something that turns this around, but I also don't want to give false hope. So I'm just going to pull a clarifier for this card. Your spirit, and then please get a clarifier for the Page of Wands. Going for your further advice here. Whew. Oh, damn. Okay, so it is about, interesting. So a lot of this is about continuing to have faith, understanding that, yeah, you have not been receiving what you have been wanting, but it doesn't mean you're not going to get there. There is healing coming through. There is an emotional revival, just being in alignment again. There is something that is being offered or is going to be offered around you that's going to feel like the guidance that you need, because that is the justice almost from all the physical work. There is this sense of like, I worked so hard in the past, and it's like burnout. Like, why do anything? Why even try anymore? Right? And all of, I think to have the Four of Cups too, with the Five of Cups, there is a need to kind of accept the situation that you're in for what it is and not really blame yourself so much. I think that that's not really serving you. I think you're trying to find answers in places that there aren't really answers. So you're like trying to fill in the gaps and trying to make sense out of things, right? It's like when people go through a hard time and they're like, well, I needed that because it taught me a lesson, or X, Y, and Z, or wouldn't have been here or there, and it wouldn't have propelled me to this situation, which all could be true, but sometimes shit just sucks. Like, I don't know, I feel like we tell ourselves that we're learning lessons to feel, again, to make sense of things. I think is a human thing to try to rationalize, and to not everything just be for pain's sake. Like, there has to be a meaning behind things. There has to be purpose, right? Like, we are constantly searching, or it's kind of told to us, like, to find our purpose, to find what we're meant to do, besides just like living your life. I think, and that's sort of a self-confirmation kind of thing, you know, because if we add meaning to our lives, then it makes whatever we went through worthwhile. So it's like trying to find meaning in whatever struggle to make it worthwhile, because I think just blatantly knowing that it it was just pain for pain's sake would be a little too damaging to the ego, and very, it won't be a place where you can find hope. I hope that is making sense. So it's kind of like, okay, you can rationalize and do that, but that's not really what the spirit wants you to do. Trying to figure out the blank to add meaning to suffering. They want you to focus more on the things that you do want, and understand that there is going to be something that is coming in. Although there is a battle to do anything, a battle to create. So I really do sense here that you do feel blocked in whatever it is. And again, it's an emotional block. It's just like, I'm not feeling well. I don't want to do anything. And I'm over this shit. Period. Point blank. We have, which is crazy, but we do have someone here who knows that you're going through stuff. I think they see you going through whatever you're facing, and they are trying to help. It's kind of like maybe even the people around you. I'm definitely getting a masculine figure though, is watching you, and is kind of like trying to help, put on a brave face and be an emotional comfort. But I think seeing you hurting is hurting them. And this isn't to make you feel like you're guilty or bad or anything, but it's just what it is. Like, you're not also alone in your suffering. If you feel that someone like you're not being cared for or valued, you know what I mean? Like, you're not alone in your struggle, because other people can see that, especially if you haven't been feeling yourself, or even just in the way that you're communicating. I think there is a larger network of people that are around you and do care for you and do see you. And I think maybe even that could provide a sense of hope and happiness, knowing that you are loved in spite of it all, in spite of your perceived failures and disappointments, and life just kind of lifing, right? So with that being said, a lot of these cards are centered around abundance, stability, money, financial freedom, and creativity, and just receiving divine messages. It's like they're at your last end. You need the keys, right? You're like, this is it. This is it. Like, I can't do it anymore. And you are hoping and beckoning that the next thing that comes in for you is the thing that kind of is what you've been working so hard on, like the magnum opus of the struggle, right? Like, what is the point? So let's say for example, I'm gonna use rap because I feel like everyone around me I know wants to be a rapper. So you are a rapper, you've been making really good records, you know, it'd be kind of weird, right? Whatever. No, I am going to use him. So I'm going to use one of my favorite rappers. His name's Theravada. So he's like pretty much an underground rapper. And I feel like does consistent work. I think he's a great artist. But yet he's still underground, right? And it's kind of like his big break. Like, when is that going to happen? If he ever becomes mainstream or has that, whatever, the next level where he's like signed to Def Jam, or I don't know if he wants to be signed. My point is, the next thing that kind of puts him on all the Spotify playlists, and now he's at the Grammys and he's performing here, he's performing for Coachella, like, you know, that next level of fame. It's like he's been doing all of this work, and I think if you're a fan of his, you see that, but it's like, when is it gonna all pay off in that big sense? Make sense? And that's kind of what's happening for you. So let's say you are a creative person. You've been putting all that work. You just want to know when your big break is going to come. So you don't have to struggle and suffer and feel like you're in a constant cycle of losing. And you can have some financial abundance and stability on those things, from those things that you've worked so hard on. So now I just want to ask Spirit, is that going to be the next thing that is coming in? You know, are you going to get your big break? Is that what it is? Excuse me. Spirit, what's up? Is the break happening? Is it all gonna pay off? What are these cards? What is this Ace of Cups? What is this involvement of, sign of success? Ooh, okay, of course. They want to fall. Okay. Interesting. So they're it's kind of frustrating getting these cards because they're pages, and the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles is usually just a beginner, right? So it's about two things I'm hearing is that you are very divinely protected and you are in alignment with what you need to be doing. So if you feel like you have been making mistakes or you've been a big mistake just in general, you're not. All of those things were guided. You were following intuition. You did put in the work. You did produce the work, right? And it's kind of like these cycles happen. We make our little pentacles and we just keep on making these pentacles. I don't see that they have stacked up though. And I think right now you have to see what you have created. It's also giving yourself some credit, even if it's just physically maybe looking at or hearing or understanding or wearing or whatever you do. Like, what have you been doing? Really taking stock in that and kind of understanding that you are already doing what you're supposed to be doing. You are living what you're supposed to be living, and you are being moved and walking away, or you are being led away from the things that don't serve you into those things that do serve you. I think what you're looking for, you already have it, and that sounds really frustrating because there is this materiality, this need for like physical security, this want for something that you have it on this spiritual realm. And I see the battle here is like, okay, but where is it in my physical realm? Like, what is good? Like, okay, I'm rich in the spiritual realm. Can I be rich in real life? Like, that'd be nice. Yeah, like I said, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So we see all the work kind of stacking up in this physical. And here we have the disappointment again. Okay, we understand. You're not proud of the things that you've done, or you don't feel like it's enough. We have this conflict, just constant battle. Okay, there's a battle. Peeped that already too. No, that's crazy. That is crazy. Spirit is being very tight-lipped on this. They want you to continue doing it. Continue working on what you're working on. Even if you don't see anything, even if you're not getting anything back from it, they don't want you to stop just because things are getting hard right now. It's almost like, wow, that's really intense. I'm getting really emotional right now. I'm trying not to cry. You don't see it, and I don't really think it's meant for you to see it right now. I think that they want you to keep on keeping on and have faith in yourself. Once again, there is a need to be creative though, because I think that there is something, it's kind of healing. It'll help your mood. If anything, it'll help your mood, which is great. But also it's like, through you creating, you're actively moving away from the things that don't serve you. So through the act of creation, you move away from this dark place of feeling worthless and feeling that everything you do is trash and it's not good enough, because I think your work is really good enough. And I think that whatever next project you're working on, or whatever maybe you're currently doing, I really do feel like it's after this reading though. Like, so it's like whatever you put your mind towards or you're doing, and you pour whatever these, even if they're gross emotions into that, it's gonna be fire, because we have the Lover's card. So there's gonna be like this, did I magnum opus, right? Am I using that word correctly? Point is, yeah, it's like the big juice. But there is also like, whatever you make next is it's gonna be very divine. It's gonna feel like a download. It's gonna be so healing for you. I can't tell you what it is, because everyone has their own type of art, and ideas and whatever, how they get down. But it is going to be something that brings in a lot of joy, and I think it's going to be channeled. I think you need to be open to just letting your hands and your minds be really free, working away, but always working. Don't stop doing what you're doing because you're depressed. There's just so much that is going to come through the physical act of creating. And I think that as much as you just want to lay down and not do anything, get up and do something, because as you move, as you channel, as you work, you are going to receive downloads and messages that are going to help you during this time that this reading cannot, because it's specific to you. I hope this reading helped. It has been Baby Girl. If you like this reading, don't forget to hit the like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. If you want to book a personal reading with me, check in the description box below, and yeah.